You guys was good. So we're back here with Coach Felicia from Project Rise. So she does a lot of pull-ups. You can see she's pretty jacked. She knows her way around fitness and stuff. But today we actually have a kind of different topic, unrelated to almost like working out or nutrition, that kind of stuff. More about how learning plays a huge role in our overall health and fitness, right? She can go on forever, I can go on forever, just how important learning is in general, either that's from a coach or whatever it's from. But one thing we were talking about before is Coach Felicia, even though she's a coach, she impacts a lot of people. She has a coach herself, which is Mike. That's also another coach at Project Rise. So she's gonna kind of talk about how having a coach has helped her training journey, right? Overall health journey, progress she's made, that kind of stuff. So I'll stop talking, you drop some knowledge on us.
So like we were talking before, I think it's important that any teacher has a teacher. You can't limit your learning. So if you think you know it all, then I just feel bad for you because you're limiting yourself to expanding your knowledge. Yeah. So I have a coach because one, I continue to learn from him, and that benefits me when I'm teaching my clients. Yeah. Just like actually he can learn some things from me. I train with other trainers, I meet up, take other classes, because there's so much knowledge. I don't know, the amount of knowledge is just endless, and I think it's important that you don't limit yourself. And so with my coach Mike, he pushes me because I don't have the motivation to sometimes push myself, and he teaches me new things, and then again we just bounce ideas back and forth, and then when I'm training my clients, I can share that knowledge with them, and then they can share that knowledge with whoever, and it's just a never-ending cycle, and I think it's super, super important. Yep. So your favorite idol has a favorite idol. Yep. Your favorite mentor has a favorite mentor.
Damn.
So
yeah. Okay, no, that's awesome, right? We were talking about the same thing before. It's me being a SIC, it literally stands for student for life, right? So I was like, oh shit, that makes so much sense. Even now I'm constantly learning. For me personally, I didn't start off having a coach. I started off more listening to podcasts and audiobooks and things like that, and just not even learning about fitness and nutrition and stuff. Other things kind of triggered me into I can do a lot of stuff. The potential is crazy, right? There's so much more things we can do when we actually focus on learning instead of just thinking we know it all, right? So that being said, there is one misconception or one thing that I feel people struggle with. I've struggled with this as well as information overload, right? So how can we balance in terms of learning too much and not executing while making sure you learn and then you execute? Yeah. So you actually make the progress.
Yeah, I totally understand you because I'm the same way. Oh, our friend Arwen's coming in. Okay. I'm the same way. You might have to I'm losing my train of thought. So I totally understand what you mean. I myself get overwhelmed. I feel like there's so much information out there. There's so much knowledge, and sometimes we get consumed and sucked into this rabbit hole of consuming all this knowledge that gets overwhelming, and you just don't know how to apply it. The best thing that I can say is find a topic that interests you, whether that's nutrition, and focus on that topic first. And then actually try and implement it in your life, because I feel like there's one thing, you can learn something, but it's different to actually apply it. So apply it to your life and see how it affects you, because it might affect you differently. Yeah. The way Mike taught me to do pull-ups, if I trained my client the exact same way, they might not get the result the same way I did. Everybody learns differently. So stick to a topic, do all the research you can on that topic, apply it and see how it works for you. Yeah. And don't limit yourself to one resource on that topic.
Perfect. Yeah, if you saw me, I kept nodding the entire time. I totally agree. One thing that I want to mention is she did say, stick to one thing at a time, right? I know we want to diversify our portfolio in a business sense. We want to do a lot of things, but we kind of tend to misunderstand that if you do all these things, we're not going to actually execute on anything, right? So as she said, if you focus on one thing, execute, see how that works for you, and then move on to the next thing, right? Or just try to perfect that other thing, keep learning more about it, reflect on it, right? So
That actually, sorry to interrupt, that actually also applies to skills too. 100%. So if you're trying to learn how to do a pull-up, but then you also want to learn how to do a handstand, and then you also want to try and get a muscle up, but then you're also trying to learn a back lever. Like, it's just way too much, and you won't actually achieve that one specific goal because you're back and forth focusing on too many things at once.
Yeah. Break it down, one thing at a time, get good at that thing, move on, that kind of thing, right? And have an action plan, right? Because if you're just thinking, I want that pull-up, and you just start jumping on the bar, it's gonna not result in anything. You're gonna get demotivated because you're not gonna be able to do that pull-up. But like you said, if you break it down one thing at a time, maybe it's the negatives, whatever it is, work on that, perfect that, and then move on, right? So please understand, learning is good, but execution is where everything actually happens, right? So again, we can talk about this forever, but one thing I do want to say is, like, how can we actually implement learning in our daily lives, right? Like, practical ways. If someone can't hire a coach, what can someone do to start learning right away? The smallest thing goes a long way, right?
Yep. So like I said, resources. There's podcasts, YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So whether, let's say, first of all, don't make excuses for yourself, because we tend to do that. It's a cop-out.
Yeah.
Let's say you're driving home from work. Throw on a podcast. Listen to that podcast. When you wake up out of bed, you want to get stronger, you want to get more push-ups, start with doing 5 unbroken push-ups for 1 week. Break down what it is that you're trying to do. Find time, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to dedicate to either reading, learning, watching a video, researching, doing. And then you'll slowly start to see that 5 minutes is going to turn into 10 minutes. That 10 minutes might turn into 20 minutes, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, for sure. And like, one thing is, like, some people get confused. It's like, reading books, podcasts, audiobooks, other people, that's the only way to learn. But just looking at what you do and reflecting on it has been probably the biggest learning for me, right? Like, just writing down, I don't like journal technically, but sometimes I make notes when something goes wrong, my workout's not good enough, or like, my workout went really good, right? So I write it down, I'm like, what was the common factor here? Like, why was this workout so sick? Why are my arms looking bigger this time? Whatever it is, like, reflect on it, and that's a good learning thing too, right? Maybe like, I had really good sleep the previous night. Or maybe that I had like a large pizza the day before, that's why like I had a good pump, right? Like, reflect on that, see how your body's reacting to things. Learn from yourself, like, your body's telling you things every day, right? Listen to it. That's another easy way. Everyone has access to that. If you can't hire a coach or whatever, like, listen to yourself. You can self-coach yourself, learn from yourself, right? So again, to wrap it all around, we just want to make sure that you're not skipping on the learning. Like, we don't want to get to that workout, we want to get to that nutrition, we want to get to all these things. But in my opinion, like, learning could almost be the first step. If you're not learning, you're going to be basically not wasting time, but you're going to be not as productive in achieving your goals.
You're not going to know where to start.
Like, it could be, what's that quote about direction, right? You could be going in some direction, but it could be the wrong direction, right? That kind of thing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So
insert quote here.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want to end it off with something that you want.
Yeah, actually, I would want to end it off with saying that no matter what, be very patient with yourself. This journey is never ending. So yes, let's say your goal is to get a pull-up and you get that pull-up. Know that it doesn't stop there. You might want to get 2 pull-ups, 3 pull-ups, or a new skill. The journey is never ending. All you got to do is remain consistent, be patient with yourself, and make sure you focus on your mental fitness just as much as your physical fitness, because this journey can be sometimes draining mentally, 100%. Just as much as it can be physically. So make sure you take care of both mind and body and spirit.
That's it. I think that's a solid end note. Like she said, like, it's not just about the physical, it's about the mental game too, right? Yeah. Because you're all connected, mind, body's connected. So I hope this video helped. Thanks to Coach Felicia again, dropping, I wasn't shaking.
Oh, were you?
I wasn't, but thanks to, dropping knowledge, and hope this helped you guys, right? Okay.
Bye.
Take it easy.